I hope Paulo Costa takes Luke Rockhold's head clean off, bro. Like Jose Aldo, former featherweight god.
It's like he can post his hand right there. He just hits one of them, but shots at you.
I'm hoping he push Usman to the limits, man. Like
passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on, boys? And welcome back to Totally Blitz Podcast. You entered the motherfucking Fight Club, and we talking UFC 278. We got Usman versus Edwards, Costa versus Rockhold, Aldo versus Dvalishvili. I apologize. I know I fucked that up. But I'm Paul Picking Wyndham Contra. I got my shot poured up. Who's with me?
You already know, man. It's Lil KK, a.k.a. the Don PYE, a.k.a. the motherfucker with the best chi. You feel me? But, hey, man, we talking that big UFC 270. Hey, motherfucker, fuck what you heard, dog. So, hey, bro, this is going to be a good one, dog, but fuck what you heard, in case you didn't know this what you heard.
Hey, man, bait 278, man. It's your boy Marcus. Let's jump into it.
Yes, sir. I'm going to start off. Everyone knows we're here for Usman versus Edwards, but we're going to start off the other two fights that, honestly, you cannot miss. Jose Aldo, former featherweight god, now at 135, 10 pounds less, taking on Merab Dvalishvili. That's how you say it, Dvalishvili. It's something like that, but we'll just call that boy Rob for this episode.
What is he?
Rob.
I believe he's of some sort of Russian background.
His name's Rob?
Yeah, no, it's Merab, but you pronounce it Rob.
Oh,
Merab, but I don't think you pronounce the ME part of it, so it's just Rob. So that's our word. Doesn't call that Rob for this episode. That's our boy. Jose Aldo's featherweight god. Now he's 35 years old. He's looked good in his last three fights, and they've all been unanimous decision wins over ranked opponent. He beat Rob Font. He beat Pedro Munez. He beat that boy Chito Vera, who we just seen looking phenomenal last weekend. And he wrestled Chito Vera. He dropped Rob Font. He dropped Pedro Munez. So he's kind of did it every other way. Dvalishvili, if y'all don't know him, relentless grappler with godly cardio, silver medalist in Sambo. He's made great wrestlers look like children. He started off 0-2. One of his losses in the UFC was against Ricky Simon, who that boy Kev knows all about.
Ricky Simone.
But since those 0-2, he's been 7-0, and he just beat Marlon Morales in his last fight. And shit, that's what makes this fight a pick 'em. Both their odds are both like -110, +110, so it's honestly super close odds. How do y'all feel about this fight between the newcomer and the old dog, who honestly hasn't really looked bad?
No, I think this is actually a pretty fucking great fight because it shows, first off, bantamweight division. Deepest division in the motherfucking UFC. I keep saying this.
What is Bantam? Like one.
Bantam is 135.
Okay, bet. Hell yeah.
Aljamain Sterling, who's taking on TJ Dillashaw 2 motherfucking pay-per-views from now. So like this shit is motherfucking deep. We just watched the back.
I was gonna say that's why I give Aldo more respect because featherweight's 145. And he, instead of going up in weight like a lot of older fighters do, he went down in weight and still looked really good.
So you gotta respect the bantamweight division, and it's funny how all these fights are happening within a month of each other. So that means all these fights mean something. So like, I don't think this fight is a number one contenders fight, but this fight might help figure out who's gonna be in the next number one contenders fight. You feel me? So this is very important, and I think it's very important to both of these individuals, and the fact that Merab can come in this bitch and really show like that he might be able to dominate, but Aldo can show that he dipped his toes in the fountain of youth because he's been knocking off names, like real names. You feel me? So this is a really good fight, especially to set the tone for this card before we get into the co-main events and shit. But what you know about these boys, Marcus? You know Jose Aldo. What you know about him? I know you done heard about Aldo before.
Hey, man. I got a question though. If we comparing each skill set, who got the upper hand? Stand up, ground game. Break it down.
So stand up, Aldo wins without a doubt, but ground game, Vasily, silver medalist in Sambo, just like Khabib. But that doesn't mean Aldo's seen Chad Mendez and other great wrestlers, so he's seen great wrestlers before. What's up, Kev?
There's one thing I was watching on the Style Bender channel. I was watching Izzy and the other new CKB dude. They was talking Aldo when it comes to takedown defense, and he just has this motherfucking this way he moves his hips, like he posts his hand, move his hips, and then you can take his ass down, but he'll just like kind of hit you with a little bachata. You feel me?
90% takedown defense.
Yeah,
damn,
and he's seen
something with it.
And if you know Jose Aldo, he's only fought the best of the best. He's fought the Chad Mendez's. Like he's seen these phenomenal wrestlers in UFC and still a 90% takedown defense. And he's older now. That should just tell you, like, he know. Show it again, Kev. Tell him again.
I'm saying, it's like he can post his hand right and he just hits you with a little bachata. You feel me? Just a little, hold on, select the tummy box. A little bachata. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? I don't know what it is about, bro. He got that. And like, Izzy was showing highlights of him doing it. He was like, bro, I did that shit against Whitaker. And that shit feels good, man, because like it's unstoppable. It's just the way you can like whizzy your hips and do that. So like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I want to see Merab go in and kind of shake up his division. I would love to see a Cheeto Vera versus Merab #1 contender fight type shit. But I'm taking Aldo, man. Fuck it, dog. This is my first time getting to watch an Aldo fight, and I appreciate like everything about it. So like, I'm really gonna sit down and enjoy it. And I hope the old veteran can kind of take it. I don't think he's the best of them. I feel like him and Dominic Cruz aren't in the same boat because I feel like he's way better than Cruz. But I feel like it's kind of this is a young man's division. You feel me? Like the dudes that are in this division are gonna be here for a second. So like they're kind of here to really take shit out. But I'm taking Aldo, man. Fuck it.
I will say Dvalishvili, relentless grappler, bro. He's like another one of them Russian grapplers that just come over. Has the most takedowns in bantamweight history in his short career at UFC already. He has like 63 takedowns. He averages 7 takedowns a fight, and he's never fought a 5-round fight before. And he's had over like 7 or 8, 9 fights in the UFC total. So like 7 takedowns of like he's just one of them other grapplers. But in his last fight against Marlon Morales is landing the leg kick, which Jose Aldo is known for his leg kick. So if you're not checking him, like we've seen the tape where you don't check him at all, you let legs fly, that's not going to be good for you. He also got rocked in that fight. I think you could even stop the fight with some of these refs, how they've been calling early stoppages in these fights. You could have stopped that fight early, gave Morales the win, but they let it run, and he ended up on top of his wrestling and ended up finishing the fight himself. But Aldo's not going to make those same mistakes. Aldo's going to fucking take advantage of that leg kick. Even though we're all waiting for Aldo to fall off this cliff because he's older and it always happens, father time catches the best of you. It doesn't matter. Even though he's not an MVP, he's playing at an all-pro level right now, bro. So I'm giving it to that boy Aldo. He's still got it in him. I think he makes this fight look kind of easy with his he's gonna the striking advantage he has on him. I think he's gonna showcase it. And just like you said, Kev, if he wants to shoot the takedown, you're gonna have to come dance with me, brother. And I don't think he's here for the dancing party.
Nah, for real.
My boy Aldo, you think he could get a knockout?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets a lot of knockdowns. That's why the last of his 3 fights have been unanimous decision wins. He gets knocked down, but he doesn't get knockouts. So I think he looks really good, but he doesn't get the knockout.
So what's next after if he wins?
Not a title fight, but maybe a #1 contenders fight.
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the title fight goes to if Sean O'Malley can beat Peter Yan. I think that's who the title fight goes to. He might skip the line real quick.
Peter Yan has beat Aldo before. Aldo's beat Vera before. That's why MMA math doesn't make sense, because all these motherfuckers are gonna fight each other some way or another. So we'll see who ends up getting it.
I wonder what we'll talk about this in another episode. I'm laughing.
But we gotta hop into this motherfucking middleweight fight. We gotta talk about my boy, the Destroyer, fucking Paulo Costa, 13-2 versus Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold's coming back. That boy, we haven't seen him in action since 2019. He's fucking Strikeforce former champion, fucking UFC former champion. Does he still got it in him, or has Father Time got his ass?
Damn.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard the Luke Rockhold interview against DC and RC, and he hates Paulo Costa. He hates everything about him. Hates his face, hates his name, hates his hair, hates the fact that his muscles glisten in the sunlight. He hates everything about this motherfucker. And like,
boy hates his name, huh?
He genuinely cannot see himself losing to Paulo Costa. And I don't know what the fuck makes him think that way. So, Paul, tell me what the fuck can Luke Rockhold do to subdue Paulo Costa? Because, like, he's a fucking Terminator. Marcus, tell them that Paulo Costa is a Terminator.
Oh, like Mike Tyson back in the 80s, right?
No,
the Brazilian Mike Tyson.
I hope Paulo Costa takes Luke Rockhold's head clean off.
Oh, wow.
I hope Paulo Costa takes Luke Rockhold's head clean off, bro. Like, he is 100. Luke Rockhold talks the most shit. Luke Rockhold's known for just being an asshole. So I'm not surprised he doesn't like Costa. Like, none of the people he's ever fought has ever liked Luke Rockhold. That motherfucker's just an asshole type of dude. And yeah, you're coming back, but you're coming back with the new age of fucking UFC. And Paulo Costa is going to fucking uppercut you, right hook, left. I don't know, but this is going to be, I think this is going to look bad. I think Costa just going to just take his head off. Like, this is not a good fight. Like, people should be looking at this fight like the Diaz versus Hamzat Chimaev type of deal. That's how I'm looking at this type of fight. Like, Luke Rockhold's coming back for one fight and one fight only, because Costa's going to fucking retire his ass.
I was gonna ask, is dude like a striker? Like, what's his specialty?
He's a mixed martial artist. He can do some BJJ. He can kickbox. He can strike with you. But he's just older, and he's just part of the older wave.
I was talking about Costa.
Oh, he's just striking straight up, 100%. I'm gonna take your head clean off. Like,
okay, big dog shit.
I respect Costa. Who won against him versus Romero? He beat Romero, right?
Costa?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes. Rockhold got KO'd in his last two fights, one against Romero and one against Jan at 205.
So yeah, I did this fight, like, this was a good fight because Acosta is a fucking phenom, but like, here's the thing, he got literally raped by Israel Adesanya, like, literally, like, shit was funny. So like, and the way that Izzy killed his fucking leg shows that, like, he kind of only can strike. That's his bread and butter. He kind of lives and dies by that motherfucker. So like, it's always tough to put like hella respect on Acosta, but he's definitely a top 5 fighter in my opinion in that division. In my opinion, well, not that Pereira is there, so like maybe he's a top 6 fighter in that division. But motherfucking Luke Rockhold is just, his mindset, I feel like, doesn't match. And I'm a firm believer, you don't get better at MMA by not doing it. So like, this was a perfect fight setup. So Costa can kind of be the good name and kind of promote himself and elevate him better in the division, because he can probably get Paella after he loses to Israel Adesanya. So motherfucking, this is a good business move. I feel like this was a good business fight, making it the stuff. And as long as everybody makes weight tonight, motherfucking everything Gucci, or this morning technically.
Costa's gonna flatline him like Luke was in that the other week, bro.
We're not gonna make no motherfucking Luke podcast. Telling my dog to sit there. He tried his best.
Tried his best.
How about you, Mark? Hearing everything we talked about, we got the former GOAT of the division, and not GOAT, but former champ of the division, and the newcomer who did lose to Adesanya, but he is a brawling motherfucker. Where you leaning?
Usually I'll try to switch it up and try to go with the vet, the big old dog. But after, Kev told me to search this man up.
Have you done seen have you witnessed some fucking, arguably some crimes?
It legit reminds me like Anthony Joshua, just like, bro, why you in fighting? Like, the fuck? This nigga look like he in the fucking weight room every day. Like, I don't know. He boy cut up, big as fuck. But shit, I want him to get a knockout. I want to see a brutal.
Take a head off. That's why I'm take his head clean off.
Fucking, right, like send that shit to the fucking
upper deck.
Man, I'm trying to see something. I want to see a big knockout from Costa.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. See, Paulo Costa got introduced to me in the Ultimate Fighter because he was on Team Brazil when it was Charles Sonnen versus Vanderlei Silva. I think I can't remember exactly, but he showed promise in that. Even though I want to say he lost his second fight, but he showed promise in that. So the fact that he went from being somebody that didn't make it to the tough season finale all the way to this point shows that like he's come a long way and he's low-key improved and stuff like that. So I hope after winning this fight, because that's what I'm picking, he can actually do something and kind of make some noise in the division. Because like Izzy has no choice but to lap this motherfucker again. You don't run out of names again.
Nah, facts. But we're all on that boy Costa. We all think he's really gonna do that shit. But on to our main event, Usman versus
Big dog.
2. The belt is on the line. A rematch that's been sitting for over 2.5 years at this point. We don't have to introduce who Usman is. We don't have to introduce who Leon Edwards is. We know who these fucking fighters are. We know that fucking there's a reason why you're here, headline at UFC 278. How do y'all feel about this fight? I want to hear some honest opinions. Let it out.
Does he have a chance?
He said, what? No, he has a chance.
The odds don't show it. The odds have Usman as like a -400 and Edwards as like +350.
How long ago was the first fight?
2.5 years. It was like 2 years and like 8 months.
The first fight was 2015.
It was 2015. I thought it was over. It was 2 years and like something.
No, it was in 2015. It was like Usman's eighth fight in the UFC. So
I was watching the countdown, bro. Boy, Edwards got a raw ass story, bro. That shit made me respect him.
Nah,
got in the game late. Pops passed away. Shit was in the streets. Dude's a real savage, bro. And then to start the game late, like most people are fighters at young ages and they get into MMA late, but they're still fighters. But for him to just come in there like that was crazy to me. Had to throw that out there.
And his brother's a fighter. I think he's on Bellator.
I love when fighters start the game late, bro. I fuck with that shit.
I love it, man. But it's funny seeing Leon Edwards versus Usman because the first fight was a good fight, but he wasn't a wrestler, even slightly. So the fact that you see these two people now, Usman is a pound for pound king. I'm watching him versus Kobe Covington too right now, and it's just like he doesn't have many openings. There's not too many times where he felt like, yeah, I can hit him and he's not going to hit me back. Like, there's no point. Like, you kind of have to go sit there and just pray that, like, he doesn't, and his counter punching is next level. And top of that, he can wrestle the fuck out your stupid ass. So, like, Usman's just so all around crazy. But the fact that Leon Edwards gave him a good fight in that first fight, even though he was mainly a striker, and now he's been working with defense. He's been going to training at the AKAs with. You see pictures with him with Khabib and Islam and motherfucking Luke Rockhold and motherfucking, like, he's been practicing. He's been working on this shit. So, like, these are two different fighters because now Usman isn't just a crazy big wrestler in the foot stamps. He's an all-around fighter. He's knocked out his last, 2 or 3 fights. So, like, Leon Edwards is becoming a better all-around martial artist. So the fact that they've elevated the game to such a high level just makes this such an interesting matchup. And I hate that it's a -400 because both of them go so hard in the gym. But, like, Paul, what do you think about this fight when you look at it? Because this is not going to be no slouch. I feel like it's going to be really like a whoever has the most heart type of shit. Like, it's really going to go down to, like, yo, I'm the fucking champ, or no, well, I'm the motherfucking contender and I want to be champ. Like, this is gonna really go down to like the second, unless somebody gets their ass split.
Both of them, like, since Edwards has lost to Usman, he's been on his own tear. Like, he's beat Barberena, Vincent Luque. He beat Luque back in 2017 when Vincent Luque had a chin. He beat Cowboy, RDA, Nate Diaz, even though he got rocked. He beat Gunnar Nelson. Like, his elbows are just one of a kind. Like, he has these John Jones type of elbows that, like, if he hits you, they're cutting you up and they're probably rocking you. So, like, and he can hit him from inside the clinch, and he has this range to him. I know Usman has the range advantage on reach, but Edwards is taller, and he seems that he knows how to use his range a little bit better. One thing that makes me like why I think this fight would be really close is that Usman, even though he's a great wrestler, he is 35 years old, and there's a reason why you don't see Dominic Cruz wrestle anymore. Like, it's hard on your knees. Like, you can't be wrestling in them older ages. So, like, I think that might just pay attention. Like, Usman he wrestled good against Covington and Masvidal, but in those later rounds, he stopped wrestling. He went straight to striking, and I don't think you can do that against a Leon Edwards. I think Leon Edwards is levels above Masvidal.
You think he could hurt him?
Not hurt him, but this tech is like an Israel Adesanya. You do not want to just straight up only strike with him. So if Usman if Usman stops wrestling with Leon Edwards, I think it will be this fight is a lot closer than what the odds are showing, in my opinion, right now.
No, I respect that to the fullest, man. Because I just look at the way Usman is, the way he trains his body, so smart and so.
I'm gonna take a shot just for this fight too. This is a hell of a main event.
No, and it's crazy that it's gonna be being slept on because these two are like straight up monsters. Like, it's gonna be fun. Marcus, what are you hoping that you see from this fight?
Kind of want to see a back and forth fight, honestly, and I want to see Edwards kind of like, because that boy, like you said, 2 years, but it's been longer. 2015, man, that's a long time.
7 years. I was wrong. I apologize. It was 7 years. That boy Kev did more than me.
The last, and since COVID, he's had 6 fights canceled because he was supposed to go. He's had 3 fights that got canceled with Hamzat Chimaev, and then he had the fight canceled with not Kobe Masvidal. He had those fights canceled. Over time, he's had 6 different fights canceled since COVID. Like, he's hungry. That fight with Nate Diaz was fucking phenomenal.
I think
he has 6 fights canceled. On the other side, Kamara Usman, 2021. What other champion do you know has 3 title defenses in 1 year? 3 title defenses in 2021. Beat Gilbert Burns for the first time. Beat Jorge Masvidal for the second time. KO'd both of them, and then beat Kobe Covington decisively for the second time. And that's why there's no rematch since. So even though we haven't seen him in 2022, he was very busy in 2021.
That's crazy. You don't be hearing that shit at all in boxing.
So one has been hungry, waiting for a fight, and he waited long enough, and now he's front of the line, and he gets to fight Usman here.
I'm hoping he push Usman to the limits, man. Like, go to the cards, decision. You don't even know who wins. I hope for a 50-50 fight for real. That's gonna be interesting. 7 years of grudge.
Let's rock into our picks here. I'll let you start it off, Marcus, since you ended the analysis type.
I can't see Usman losing. I can't. I want to rock with Edwards for real, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really do, but I'm gonna take Usman in the indecision. But I think it's gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna be just one of those 50-50, but Usman edges it out.
One of those Santos Shevchenko, the GOAT of the divisions, kind of getting tested for the first time.
It's UFC 278, man. They gotta put on the show. I think that shit is gonna be a lit ass main event.
Kev, I'll let you go the other way. You rocking with your boy Usman?
Come on, man. You know my middle name is Usman. People be forgetting that.
That's my middle name.
It's the Nigerian nightmare, my motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with Leon Edwards. Like, I really rock with Dog. Like, I really think bro is nice. But there can only be one champ. There can only be one. And I think Usman's days is coming. And there's a dude named Khamzat Chimaev that said, yo, kill everybody. So I'm not going to lie. Usman's days may be numbered. So I think he has one more grudge match in him before he meets that dude, Chimaev. And Chimaev runs the division for the next 10 years.
Damn.
That's just how I feel.
Boy, said a decade.
I guess I get the final pick, and I'm happy I got the final pick because I'm going with the upset of the ages with plus 400 odds. Give me Leon Edwards. I think Usman at 35 years old, he's coming off a hand injury, so he hasn't fought in a couple months, but so neither has Edwards. But I think he beat Covington twice. So he already knew how to beat Covington the first time. He did it twice. He beat Masvidal twice. I don't think Masvidal is as great as a fighter as people think he is. I think he had a good run against nobodies type shit. And he beat Burns, and I respect the Burns win 100%. Edwards, I just think Usman's not going to wrestle for 5 rounds. He's a little older now. We've seen these older fighters not wrestle in them later rounds. So Usman has to win these early rounds with his wrestling, and we've seen Edwards work on takedown defense, I think, really good to the point where I think he can stop some of these takedowns. And even if he can't, I think those last 3 rounds, he's going to be – Usman has basically faced Masvidal and Colby in a stand-up fight into the last 3 rounds in his last against them. And he won those exchanges. I don't think he's going to win these exchanges against Edwards. And especially at these odds, as a betting man I am, I'm taking my boy Edwards here. We're going to see a new king. It's going to make the division so much more funner from here on out, because otherwise Usman's going to have his reign of terror. And I think Edwards is going to end his reign of terror.
Man, I wish I had a Nigerian Nightmare shirt, but instead I got my dog Itachi, because we're here to kill your family. You feel me? Like,
that's how I can see Usman. Like, I can picture Usman sitting where Itachi is right now.
Yeah, just because that's what he does on top of the motherfucking pedestal. He's the pound for pound #1. He's one of my favorite fighters in the fucking world, and I gotta take my dog Usman, man. But
It's gonna be a hell of a main event. It's gonna be a hell of a co-main event. It's gonna be a lot of fucking knockouts. I'm predicting right now.
A lot of hands.
Card.
Yeah, a lot of motherfucking hands are being thrown.
And Alex Romanov, the person who beat Derek Lewis in his last fight, he is the featured prelim of this fight. So check out the early prelims type shit, because we get to see him fight another standing bang fighter, and we get this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a good ass card, guys.
Oh yeah.
But hey, babe, I had to blow smoke in your face. If you a bitch ass nigga. And if you didn't know, I didn't mind telling you again, you bitch ass nigga. This has been the Totally Blitz Fight Night, bro. We've been talking at UFC 278. Be on the lookout. We're gonna have some cool edits for you coming this card, man. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pickett winning props. I'm in this motherfucker with Marcus Prime Time Penman. He is out here repping the swamp. Paul repping them Dolphins, and I'm repping the Uchiha clan. And if you didn't know, this is a Totally Blitz, yeah. Bitch.
Got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you could call them boy crap, man. This gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes. This ain't nothing.